that I wanted anybody who's participating in this sort of this little forest is when we have when we're talking about different medicines, different plants that can be used. One of the things that we have to understand is that when we begin a relationship with a plant, it should be the same way, it should be conducted in the same way that we begin any of our relationships with other people. So the first thing that you learn when you meet somebody else is you ask what their name is. You want to know what their name is, and then from there, I think, well, I have this idea, my wife hates it, but I have this idea that every relationship begins selfishly. When you meet somebody for the first time, you want to know how they can help you. So you'll small talk somebody and be like, hey, where'd you go to school? What are you good at? Can you help me? And then if somebody goes to school, is a master in something that you need, what you'll do right away is insert yourself. And you'll be like, well, I'm to school here. This is what I'm good at. I hope that you need me because I need you. And then we could be in a relationship together. And so that's how we generally will start out most of our human relationships. And it should be the same with plants. When you go to see a plant, we learn what its name is. We learn that you are birch, but we'll learn the original name of this, Wiikwemkoong. And then you could learn the betula, the scientific name. So learn what all of its names are and why it's named this. It's very important, because in that you unlock so many different knowledges about relationships and uses, like wiigabish and rope and moosmish and moose. And so from there, though, we want to learn what this tree can give you, or what this plant can give you. What gift does it have? And so where we end up then is understanding that that these plants can be medicine or food or utility, and then start to use it. But what we need to do, just like we do with people, insert ourselves right away, so that the plants need us too. Because every single plant has a way that it can be helped. Something that you could do that help this plant in its reproduction process, ways that you could help it with seed distribution and stuff like this. So just to exemplify, just to give you one example of how you can help plants, I'll explain one thing. And so what most plants rely on is a relationship between that starts with ants. One of the things that we need to stop thinking about is birds distributing seeds. A lot of this idea that birds will collect seeds and eat them for energy, and then where the bird poops, that's where the plant will grow. This doesn't exist in this part of the world. This is not how seeds are distributed. This is true in Europe, this is true in some parts of Asia, but this is not translatable to this part of the world. Birds are actually one of the worst enemies when it comes to plants here. They eat the seeds and digest them and destroy them. So do mice, so do squirrels, so do chipmunks. So you need to be there to help the plant protect it from these enemies. And so what you have to understand is that ants are largely responsible for the distribution of seeds. And so what the ant understands is that the seed has a casing on called an eliasome, and that casing prevents the seed from being able to germinate. And so as long as that casing is there, that seed will not germinate. Ants need to take it, eat that eliasome that is nutritionally complete for an ant, just like a mouse's head is nutritionally complete for a cat. But the ant will eat that eliasome and essentially prepare the seed to germinate. But what he does is he stores that seed inside of its home, inside of the nest in the colony called a midden. And the midden is generally right beside where the home where all the larvae are being grown. And so that's what happens. And what plants rely on for seed distribution is bears will come, and they love eating ant larvae. They'll scoop in and then use their tongue and just eat all of the larvae. And so what you can understand already is that because the bear, the midden is right beside, where a midden of seeds is right beside all of the ant larvae, the bear grabs both and eats both. And he brings up all of those seeds and then deposits them somewhere along the trail or in a new area. Then what happens though, the reason why we love bears so much is because their digestive tract is like this long. It sucks. And so they're not absorbing all of the nutrients from their food. And so what that means is that all of those seeds go through the bear unharmed. And when the bear poops, all of those seeds are still viable. They're not destroyed. And from that, so we have ants that collect the seed and prepare the seed to germinate, and bears bring those seeds and put them somewhere. And then from there, mice know that the bear's poop is full, it's still food. There's still lots here I could eat. And so the mouse, mainly deer mice, will go into that pile, grab all of those seeds, and what he'll do is he'll bury them 1.5 inches or 1.5 centimeters deep throughout the forest floor. And those are the trails that that mouse will maintain. And it's just a trail system that's covered with full of food that he buries. And what the mouse does is he eats those seeds and digests them and destroys them. But lucky for us and lucky for all of the plants, all of our medicines and foods and utilities, is that there are creatures out there that are here to protect medicine. Snakes will protect medicine. And so they'll protect you in that little jolt of lightning you'll get when you see them. And so to keep you away from wherever they are, away from all of those medicines. But also owls too. Owls are there to protect medicine. And their role in that protective aspect is what they're going to do is they're going to, their job is to remove the mouse. And so the snake is going to come in and eat the mouse. And all of the seeds, all of the medicines, all of the plants that that mouse has planted for food, stored for food, will then germinate and become the plants, become our medicines, become our food, become our utility. It's necessary for snakes to remove that. And same with owls, they remove the mouse. Like one family of barred owls can eat up to 30,000 mice in a year, calendar year. And so they're very effective at being able to remove the mouse and let all of our medicine be planted. This is why when you're walking through the forest, and if you want to be responsible for sustainability, leave the snakes do their thing. And when you see an owl, don't bug it, just leave it, don't even look at it, walk away. And then just that observation of tradition is going to help you, is a responsibility you have to the forest and to all the medicines and foods and utilities that are out there. And so so you need to understand the system that plants rely on for reproduction and your role in multiple different stages of that system to be there for the plant. Just like just going back to what we started with, relationships, learning what a plant can, learning a plant's name, learning the gift that it can give you, and then learning how you can give back. The way that you could give back is inserting yourself into any or all different aspects of the relationships between ants and bears and mice and owls and snakes, to be able to fulfill your responsibility to that plant, so that you can be engaged in a reciprocal relationship with it versus you just taking. Then you could be in a relationship where both of you benefit, just like with the arrowhead or the wabsipin that we talked about. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned that first. So I have a bunch of people coming here all wild, grabbing everything. But yeah.